As we originate from Calera High School, Calera, Alabama, Landrum Roberts, A.A. Moore. It is another Spain Park Jaguar football. A.A., how are you tonight?
Man, a little warmer than I had anticipated. It's late October. You were waiting for the fall in last week. The fall air was doing exactly what it's do. This week it looks like it's done an about face.
But you know what? Much better than the last time stadium, which was early in the football season. I think the heat index that day was about a 104, 105.
I probably dropped about 2 pounds per quarter because it was sweltering.
Back when Bradley, Spain Park quarterback, was just a young buck. We'll talk about Brock more, but more importantly for Spain Park, continuing to play the way that you've been playing, arguably, I don't think that Tim Vakakis would argue this, the best football they played all season, and it started on the defensive side of the ball.
Right, and as we started the season, there was questions about the defense, and early in the season when this team needed to make stops, whether it was against the run or needed to get pass rush, it wasn't quite getting there. But in the last couple of weeks, since the loss to Benjamin Russell, this team has showed that it can get to the quarterback, that it can plug the holes against the run, and teams have had a serious problem scoring points against this Spain Park defense.
Yeah, you saw the 44 unanswered last week in Chelsea. Spain Park enters with a 5-2 overall record, 3-1 in region play. Meanwhile, for Scott Riles and Calera Eagles, they're still trying to find their way in the early 10. Like to throw it around a good bit. They've had some close games, especially one that they had with Pelham, but 2-5 as they entered tonight and trying to pick up another region win.
Yeah, and they've won 2 in a row, so this team has confidence, knows that it can win football games. But again, the teams they played against, Brookwood and Chilton County, those teams aren't the teams that in fact bring fear to opponents. So this is a step up in competition, step up in degree, if you will, for Calera, and they're going to have their hands full tonight.
Yeah, the Jags entering to our left. Wearing the black helmets, the white jerseys, and the black breeches. White helmets, navy blue tops, navy blue pants for the Calera Eagles as we get set here on senior night. And Spain Park would like nothing better than to spoil the party. They're going to be thin, though, tonight. We talked about the defense. This is a Calera offense. They like to sling it around. They don't like to do much by way of the run. They can sling it around, and that might be a little bit concerning for Spain Park and Tim Vakakis because they're going to be thin there in the Jag secondary.
You got a couple of guys who aren't going to be in uniform tonight, so the backups have been getting a lot of work in the last couple of weeks because of the way the Jaguars have been able to handle their opponents. So it's been a lot of third and fourth string guys who've been able to get reps. Now everybody moves up the depth chart just a little bit to be expected to perform, and this time it's going to be crunch time, and so we'll see if the guys who are a little further down the depth chart who've moved up tonight will be able to handle the weight for Spain Park.
You just saw the Jags senior quarterback Bradley early in his Spain Park career, one of his few first games as a starter right here on this field, and I can remember a young Brock Bradley lighting it up. Let's hope the number 5 does tonight. Calera set to kick it away. And a couple of Jags back deep. We get Thompson's return. J.D. Thompson, his own 15, spinning around, still on his feet, and finally brought down to mark him at the 29, and that's where we'll see the Jags offensively.
Back in the lineup out there, getting his hands on the ball. He's been out as that has happened, especially in the backfield. We'd have to see some changes back position. Certainly, Hibbert has been standing job. We've seen some Mason McCoy back there. So McKissick should be there. You can run the football now.
And speaking of running it, it's going to be on first down. Hudson able to turn the corner. Maybe a gain of 3 as he spilled at the 32. Up front, Jags, the guys paving the way and protecting Brock tonight. Hudson, Bryant, Sammy Camargo, Oatridge. So we mentioned J.D. Thompson and Hibbard are the backs. You got Rigo, McClure, and Barrett. Wearing number 3, and they'll split him out wide as well. Hibbard Hudson securing the football. Goes running. See that blue collar effort from number 16.
And that's going to be an Atlas Senior Living first down for the Jaguars. And we've seen a lot more in the last couple weeks. Some of these misdirections other side, and the running back only has a receiver out there to block for him, but it's turned into goal at least play here.
Taking the handoff, then he's going to go to Kenna Rigo. Rigo, the burst of speed after he collects himself as he paces past the 50, down at the 48. It's another Jag first down.
Well, Spain Park has been looking for more ways to get Rigo the football. Obviously, he can beat guys downfield, but they've been trying to get quick passes out to him so that he can otherwise use his speed, his athleticism to make some plays.
Just a minute. Second gone by as Hibbard uses the block of McClure, but that's a lot of Hudson Hibbard lowering the shoulder, exclamation point, as Hibbard to the 30-yard line, and right now nothing super fancy stylistically with what Tim Vakakis and the Jags are trying to do.
He ran that misdirection play again, and this time the outside blocking. He got that sprung Hibbard free, and that was good for another Atlas Senior Living first down.
How about Nick McKissick, number 22, one of the other backs the Jags will feature in the offense as McClure goes in motion. Mason gets it. Uses a block from Kenarigo, and then Mason is greeted rudely as he crossed the 30-yard line. They might mark him out right there. It'll be a minimal gain, if any.
And that was the first time that we saw Calera able to kind of get that penetration. Certainly did a good job along the offensive line, defensive front, and strung that play to the outside where, unfortunately for Spain Park, McClure was unable to kind of get up the field.
Brock had a man in his face. He had to lob it up. He had Rigo all alone, but even Kenna couldn't track that one down. And he got a third down for the Jags. 9 minutes, 29 seconds remaining here in the opening quarter, and the Jags working from the Calera 30.
Again, starting to see some of that pressure. That's what Calera wants to do. They want to get in Brock Bradley's face and do it quickly and hopefully force some of those type of throws.
4 wide. Now Brock loads up. He's got Rigo all alone. 30-yard touchdown strike. Brock Bradley to Kenna Rigo.
When that offensive line gives Brock Bradley time, there's not much that a lot of defensive backfields are going to be able to do, especially against the speed of Kenna Rigo. He got free, was able to be wide open, and it turns into an Andrews Sports Medicine score for the Jags.
Lutenbacher to snap it back. Jones lines up to kick it. Kick is up, and it's good. 7-0 our score. 9 minutes, 20 seconds remaining here in the opening quarter on senior night in Calera, and a great start for the Jags.
And again, 30-yard touchdown pass there from Brock Bradley to Kenna Rigo. Put Spain Park on top here in the first quarter, and our first quarter is brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, which provides residential service and repair to the local Birmingham community. Hiller is the homeowner's premier home services provider of choice with their unbeatable Happy You'll Be, or the service is free, 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call the Happy Face truck today. Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Hoffman. Put the ball on the tee. Spain Park with a 71-yard opening touchdown drive, capped off by a 3rd and 10 throw that went for 30 yards. Brock Bradley to Kenna Rigo. Hoffman drives that ball, fielded at the 9. And really good coverage. Return man for the Eagles ran right into 2 waiting Jag defenders. Take another look at the touchdown pass.
Look at how much time Brock Bradley has. Allows Kenna Rigo to get past the defensive backfield into the end zone for the easy score. A little dance to go with.
Dwight Beckford, sophomore DB. They are so excited about Dwight Beckford. Said by the time it's all said and done, he will be big time. He's got a great opportunity to audition for the Jag fans tonight. This is Joe Cross showing him how he does it from his position, number 19. We usually call his name a lot.
Well, that's the tailback, Jordan Henderson, there for Calera. That's going to be the guy you want to look out for. They want to get the ball in his hands a lot. He certainly can get the job done on the ground. He's a good receiver out of the backfield, had more than 200 yards of total offense last week in the win over Chilton County. So if they're calling his name a lot, then Spain Park, I'm sure, has seen him a lot on film. They're going to try to do what they can to stop him.
Opposite Beckford, the other corner, is Anna McClure. Where's number 10? Eagles coming this way. And McClure able to slow up the runner just enough, and then he gets help from Holloway as well as Joe Cross.
Well, that was a direct snap to Henderson this time. They had the quarterback and the running back standing right next to each other. It was a direct snap to the tailback, and quarterback out front trying to get the block, but a good job there by McClure until the cavalry came, and it's going to set up a medium to long third down attempt here for Calera.
Clock continues to move, 7:46 in counting. Third down and 6. And Jordan Ward hands it off. And busting up the seam, Jordan Henderson, senior running back. And that's good for an Eagles first down. Interesting, going with a ground attack early, something that Coach Riles and the Eagles haven't shown a whole lot of.
Well, again, in more recent weeks, they've leaned on Henderson to kind of carry the mail because he's an explosive runner for sure. So, you want to keep your eye on him if you're Spain Park, but also knowing that this team will put it in the air. But if he's getting holes like that to run through, I imagine they're going to lean on him a little more tonight.
And maybe if you're the Eagles, just knowing the explosiveness of the Spain Park offense, try to shorten the game, and you wouldn't mind a time-consuming drive that ends up in points. Hand off the left side. Once again, Jordan Henderson finding 5 yards before he's chopped in half at the 45.
Jordan Ward, I'm sure when they gave him the starting quarterback job, they probably didn't tell him that, hey, you're probably going to be a lead blocker for about 20 to 30% of the plays, the runs there for Henderson. As Ward's he's a big body out there, so he certainly can help clear the way. But right now, last couple of plays, the Eagles have done a pretty good job of being able to pick up big chunks of yardage on the ground.
Listed at 6'1", 190 pounds, looks more like 6'1 and a half, 200. Out into the flat, coming over to make the tackle for the Jags was TK Slaughter, but Boone has the line to gain at the Jag 49. It's a first down as they move the chains, and the clock continues to move. 5 minutes, 53 seconds remaining here in the opening quarter.
Wasn't the prettiest pass. That ball kind of fluttered out there, and Boone had to take a second to kind of compose himself to bring that ball in. But once he did, he was able to turn it upfield and pick up another first down for Calera.
The Eagles with it again, and quarterback calls his own number. Joe Cross and I believe Carter Holloway maybe had him around the ankle. If not, it would have been more, but as is, 12-yard gain and another Calera first down as they continue to methodically move down the field on their opening drive.
This time it was a fake toss to Henderson, and Jordan Love said, hey, I can kind of get it done myself. Jordan Ward.
If Jordan Love's out there.
Yeah, if he's out there, we've got a problem.
That makes this really interesting.
Jordan Ward was the quarterback who faked the pitch and went right up the middle, and they're finding a lot of yards on the ground and running through the heart of this Spain Park defense on the opening drive.
Ward out of the gun on first down, joined by Henderson in the backfield for the Calera Eagles, trailing 7-0. But eating up yards on this opening possession. A play that took forever to develop, and you give credit what looked like a sure would-be loss turns into a 3.5-yard gain for Henderson.
Right. E.J. Curley is going to be upset with himself when he sees this on film, because as the play came back to the far side, Curley had a bead on Henderson, was unable to wrap him up, and it allowed Henderson to turn the corner and pick up those positive yards.
Who will be tended to on the Jags sideline, coming up, favoring the right leg. Picked off. McClure. Xander McClure. Right place, right time. And it's a turnover. And the senior DB will never forget that one.
But these McClures have the big plays on lock. This time Boone unable to get the fluttering pass right into the midsection there of Xander McClure, and he was able to get up the sideline. Big interception, big defensive play for Spain Park. The A.R. Holmes turnover on the last play.
Bradley on that last play gets turned over all the way back to the 40-yard line. As an uncontested Jalen Lee shot through, no hesitation. Play loses 10 yards as we approach the 3.5-minute mark. 2nd down and 20 for Brock and the Jag offense.
This offensive line been a little inconsistent here in the opening going. It did very well on the touchdown pass, but on that last play allowed the defensive end to get upfield, but good run there. Gets us back a lot of those yards.
J.D. Thompson knew exactly what they were trying to do, and that's get back those yards they lost with the sack on 1st down. He almost does it, but still very manageable. With 3rd down and 12, we'll call it 13. Jags working from the Calera 32. You got Rigo out wide again at the top of the screen. Brock looking that way, but he fires instead to his tight end, Connor Grebb, who lined up wide. And a pinpoint strike from the senior quarterback, Brock Bradley, and Jags move the chains.
Again, another good job on this particular pass play by that offensive line. Brock Bradley, there was not a defensive player within 5 yards of him. He had all day to sit up and throw. Connor Grebb able to get to the outside and pick up the Atlas Senior Living 1st down.
1st down. Ball at the Eagles 20. Rigo. Got a block. Looked like he was going to be able to split the 2 defenders. And it was Cameron Yao, one of the leading tacklers on this Eagle defense, that was able to get just enough of 0. Kenarigo.
They tried that play on the opening drive. Unfortunately, the pressure got to Brock Bradley before Rigo could get to the football, but that time the play worked. Good pickup, 7-8 yards on the 1st down play.
Now McKissick checks in at running back. But instead, they fake the handoff to Nick. They go to Kenarigo. 2nd touchdown for the senior wide receiver. And the 2nd touchdown pass from the senior quarterback, Brock Bradley.
And the little play fake and a bullet right to Rigo in between 2 defenders. Another Andrews Sports Medicine score. Again, look here, time, plenty of time, although Bradley didn't need much time, as Rigo turned the Jets on and was able to split the defenders for 6.
Jones in to attempt the extra point. And it's good. 14-0, 2 offensive possessions, 2 that ended in Brock Bradley touchdown passes to Kenarigo. Kickoff after another Bradley to Rigo touchdown into the end zone for the touchback. Calera will have it, their 2nd offensive possession. If you're just joining us, Eagles very impressive until the turnover on their 1st drive.
Again, able to run the football, run it between the tackles, able to get to the outside. A lot of work on the ground, trying to kind of mix it up. Direct snaps to the running back, Henderson. Able to get a couple completions to the outside, but those throws to the outside by Jordan Ward, they weren't the prettiest things in the world. And that time, the last time, the flutter ball ends up into the hand of Xavier McClure and that ended up turning into more points for Spain Park.
Jordan Ward, there was a good look at him, and I don't put that interception on number 5 that Xander came up with. Sometimes it just goes like that. And sometimes it goes like that. 80-yard touchdown for the Eagles, the answer score.
You know, I don't exactly know why this happens, but when Spain Park spots itself 14 points, things fall apart a little bit. And this time, it didn't take very long for it to fall apart as Jordan Ward and the Eagles go downtown to number 83. That's Ian Williamson for 6.
And a flag on the extra point attempt. And the indication is offsides against the Jags.
Encroachment on the defense. Half the distance, redo the try.
I imagine if they had a jailbreak penalty, that would be what they would have called on that extra point try, as 3 to 4 Jags came across the line and no one else on the, especially on the Calera side, moved. I guess if you want to count for, great analysis of extra point attempts, there you go.
So it's decision time for Calera and their coaching staff, and now bringing everyone off and sending another unit back on.
They figure with 1.5 yards, they believe they can get it and try to break into this deficit a little more.
They go right up under center. They try the tush push. No indication, and they said he didn't get in. Riles across the way is not happy. 14-6, our score. Back to Calera in a moment. Oscar Saylor awaits the football to put it on the tee. 80-yard touchdown pass for the Eagles. 14-6. Spain Park leading Calera, 1:18 left in the opening quarter. Landrum Roberts, A. Moore. Sky kick to the far side of the field. Picked up, now returned. Well intended, I'm sure, but not the way they drew it up on the Calera sideline. As it's returned to Cotty L.
And when you're an up man, most of the time your job is to make sure you secure the football. Don't turn it over. You don't get real opportunities to really get those kind of returns. And this time, big return puts us on the plus side of the field. And this offense, which has not had much problem moving the football, doesn't have very far to go to try to get into the end zone again.
A flag was dropped. Sideline warning against Spain Park. The next will result in a penalty. Hopefully there is no next. First down for Brock from the Calera 40. Hands it off to Thompson. JD raring to go after missing some time with the injury. And JD ahead for 4 yards.
And that may be something that benefits Spain Park as this season progresses into playoff time. You're going to have a fresh cadre of running backs after some injuries and things have left some guys on the sideline. And we saw early in the season how having all 3 of them out there was very beneficial. Kept all of them fresh, and they all were able to make some big plays. So we'll see how that works going into playoff time.
Landrick Hallman in, one of the tight ends, and he does a nice job kicking out his man with the block. That springs free. Number 14, J.D. Thompson, inside the 5, down at the 3. Made it look easy that time.
Well, I tell you, all of these near side runs right here, this time it was just a off-tackle run, and J.D. Thompson, big run, picks up a Atlas Senior Living first down, and it puts Spain Park first and goal at the 3.
Hudson Reed, got to give him credit as well. The big fellow was downfield making a block. Hudson Hibbard from 3 yards out. It's a touchdown. So it didn't last long. Spain Park answering immediately after the Calera 80-yard touchdown with one of their own. It was set up by Decadiel and a fantastic return. And A.A. Moore, just a couple of plays later, paid her.
I tell you what, this is a track meet that I don't believe that Calera is going to want to run, because Spain Park is already hitting top speed, getting into the end zone 3 times here in the first quarter. Another Andrew Sports Medicine touchdown. This team's been averaging about 40 points a game the last 3 weeks, and we're already halfway home here in the first quarter.
Calera with a player down, and that's one of their big defensive linemen. That is number 90. One of their leaders, Javion Bowie. And that does not look good.
They list him at 5'9", 250-plus pounds, and I'm sure that trying to carry that on an ankle or a knee that may be a bit compromised is no fun, and probably not as fun for the folks who got to help him get off the field. That's a big boy.
Asher McBride to hold for Jones. Lutenbach to snap it back. Good snap, hold is down, kick is up, and it's good. We've played a quarter. 21-6, Jags lead. After the Spain Park touchdown, a good return for the Eagles. Xander McClure comes up with a tackle on special teams, already an interception for the senior defensive back, right there in your screen, number 10.
Nice return there by Jalen Moore. You can see this athleticism. You can see the speed that Calera has, especially on the outside. Jalen Moore, one of their receivers, and he got up to top speed in a hurry and was probably one block away from really causing some problems, but that's good starting field position for the Eagles.
Calera back to the air. Back to the man who was the recipient of that long touchdown. And Ian Williamson ahead for 7 yards. They'll call it 6 where they spot him, 2nd down and 4.
And what you're seeing, again, is it looked like Calera was going to try to come out and run the football, maybe try to play a little clock ball a little bit to keep Spain Park off the field, but down 2 touchdowns here in the second quarter and haven't stopped this offense.
Going back to the air. And Ward's pass incomplete as he short hopped it. Pretty good coverage by the youngster, Dwight Beckford, sophomore, gets to start tonight.
And, you know, when you watch other quarterbacks play, you know, it really makes you appreciate a Brock Bradley, because on those kind of passes, you generally see completions. There was a wide-open receiver there. I think his name's Caden Specs. Wide open over on the outside, but Jordan Ward unable to get it out there, and it's going to set up a 3rd and medium here.
Yeah, Caden Specs, the other top weapon at wideout for this Calera team, as they go to the ground on 3rd down, and that's enough. As Henderson able to get 5 yards, just enough to move the chains. 1 minute gone by here in this second quarter. And once again, the Eagles having no trouble initially moving the football.
And I know it's 2 touchdowns at this point, but you know that's not too far out if you're the Eagles, and you kind of want to stick to your game plan here because it has been working. You've seen some misplays more than anything else, but been doing a good job moving the football.
Calling his own number, finally slung down by Bottomy. The Bottomy coming over from linebackers. Jordan Ward keeps it himself. finds plenty of room to run. 8-yard pickup. As the Eagles have 2nd and short from the Spain Park 42. Finally starting to cool off. On 2nd down, Ward didn't need very much, and he got just enough by the nose of the football.
It looked like there was about to be a lot more for Jordan Ward to pick up, but he tripped over the Peyton Blaylock, one of his offensive linemen. He was starting to cut to the outside. It looked like just tripped over just enough on his foot. Saved a big chase there for the Spain Park defense. They've got to do something to shore up this run defense, because right now, Calera's been able to do pretty much what it wants to on the ground.
And now a timeout called and taken by Calera. We'll take it as well. 9:19 left, first half. To Calera on senior night, Landry Roberts, A.A. Moore, Spain Park leading 21-6. Eagles with the football and a fresh set of downs after the timeout. 9 minutes, 19 seconds until halftime. And the Eagles back to Henderson. Jags do a nice job of stringing it out. Everybody wraps up. Just what they're coached to do. Joe Cross out there as well. And that play lost a couple.
TK Slaughter from his linebacker edge position, man, got up in there and was able to string it out and not allow Henderson to kind of get upfield. Good job there by the defense. We haven't seen a lot of these run stops, and they certainly came and rallied to the football that time.
Evan Taylor, number 16, in at one of the linebackers, alongside Bonamy and Curley.
Very solid linebacker core for Spain Park. Those guys have been getting it done all season long.
Kenneth Madden, Brady Heath. Along with Nathan Bird, your defensive lineman. Not a whole lot there either.
Yeah, TK Slaughter is bringing it on this set of downs, and he was able to kind of crash the run. Got in the backfield. Henderson wasn't able to get up very far, as the defensive line did a good job of stuffing up front, and Slaughter was able to get the stop.
They send James Jones onto the field, and he is a pass rush specialist, as we have seen at times. Very quick off the edge, but we'll see what they have James doing here as he lines up at the top of the screen. 3rd down and 12. Eagles back to pass again, and Ward decides very quickly he's going to tuck it and run. 7 yards, but he'll be 5 yards shy of his first down, and I don't think there'll be any hesitation from the far side of the field. Eagles going to keep the offense on.
Not a lot of kickers at this level that's going to boot it from 52 yards out, and even more than that when you're down 2 touchdowns. Though that 3 is not going to help you as much as 7 will. So you try to go ahead and pick it up. You're at home. You know, crowd's going to get behind you here on this 4th down, and it's going to be up to Spain Park to get this stop.
We approach the 7-minute mark. So 5 minutes going by here in this second quarter. On the 4th and 5. What a throw, but even more impressive the catch. High pointing the football.
Number 12,
Darian Hamilton.
And that was a good play by Hamilton. Smart play. When your receiver's 6'6", double coverage, you know, is not going to hurt you that much. Spain Park looked like it was in good position. They had the double coverage, the bracket coverage. They had a guy on top, another guy in front of it, and somehow, some way, Ward was able to find that big 6'6" receiver, and he was able to pull it down for a first down. Yeah, it's got to be frustrating as a defensive player and even a defensive unit where you set the coverage up right and they play it right, and they were, you know, the other team's still able to make a big play.
Perfectly executed. Right, back to the ground game for Calera. And a couple yards on the first down, and once again TK Slaughter for the Jags defensively.
Yeah, we've been calling his name a lot on this defensive series as he's been able to get 2-3 stops for Spain Park. When you're calling his name a lot, you're not going to be upset at the effort because you know he brings it every night.
The Eagles threatening to cut into this 21-6 Jags lead. Ward back this way and drop here in footsteps as Andrew McClure was closing fast. Ian Williamson, who caught the 80-yard touchdown pass, couldn't handle that one.
Well, McClure is having himself a night. He's had a pick tonight. This time he's able to get the PBU. Comes right in and breaks that pass up. Good job. It wasn't going to be much up the field for Calera on, even if he did catch that football because of the coverage of McClure.
Calera now facing a 3rd and 7. From the 17, Ward over the middle, intercepted, but a flag is down. Joe Cross, they're playing center field as he does so well, but I think holding. And they might have been going back to their tall target, number 12.
Got to keep your eye on those receivers. Hamilton was kind of working a skinny post there.
Well, that is one way to stop a 6'6" wide receiver. You just got to make sure you don't get caught doing it. Not that I'm condoning not playing by the rules.
You can see it right there. He was running that skinny post right up the seam, and they were like, we probably shouldn't let you just freely move because that might be a touchdown. So gives your defense a chance to play here on 4 downs here on 1st and goal.
So after the penalty, they go back to the run game and back to the ground goes Henderson.
Carter Holloway was in there first as he came in from the defensive backfield. As the line was able to kind of string that out a bit, Holloway was able to get an ankle and wait until the cavalry came, and good job there by the Spain Park defense.
Henderson lost 2. Host of Jags in on the tackle, Wyatt Beatty. You see number 28. Second and goal from the 10. Ward. And Beckford, had that ball been thrown just a little bit in front of the Eagle wide receiver, Beckford, his eyes, you could see him from up here. He was stalking that.
They had it set up where it was supposed to be a block on the outside by the big receiver, Ian Williamson, who had the touchdown pass. But Beckford did a good job of reading. There was no chance for Williamson to be able to even get that block.
So 3rd and goal from the 11. Ward this way. That's trouble if completed. E.J. Curley was the closest guy to the very fleet-footed Henderson, but Ward off the mark.
I would say that if, in fact, that was completed, that was going to be a touchdown. E.J. Curley, he's a great athlete, and he's got some speed, but Henderson out there on the outside was going to be a problem. He was going to be catch him. So not a good throw there by Ward, and looks like Spain Park is going to be able to dodge a bullet.
Connor Busby on to attempt a 27-yard field goal. And Busby's kick is no good. He pushed it to the right, so Spain Park bend but don't break. No points after all of that. 21-6 Jags leading. 4 minutes, 14 seconds left in the opening half.
Now, this second quarter is brought to you by United Community Bank, which is a proud sponsor of Spain Park football. Please visit our new Meadowbrook location on Highway 280. We thank United Community Bank for sponsoring this broadcast and Spain Park football.
Good look at least part of head coach Tim Vakakis. Offense set to go. He's got a new quarterback in. As Bradley, his night might be done. It's Nash Davis. Davis to Rigo, who stays in the game. And Kenna with a 15-yard, every single one of them earned a reception.
Going to run a little tempo here.
Dumping it off. They're in the backfield. Nash Davis. Off to McKissick. So Nick getting back into the flow of things. Having he and J.D. Thompson back after missing some time. Nash Davis. How about Barrett Price? First time we call Barrett's name tonight. He is slung down after the catch at the 30. They'll move the chains. The clock will stop with 3 minutes, 24 seconds. Love what I'm seeing from Nash.
Hey, offensive line doing a good job of protecting him. Another Atlas Senior Living first down on the big completion of Price. But the part about Davis being in here, it's great to see him being able to play with the ones. You know, a lot of times he comes in as we get this quick toss to McClure. Doesn't pick up much, but, you know, a lot of times when he comes into the ball game, he's playing with the 2s and the 3s, and Spain Park has a considerable lead, and you're really just trying to protect the football. He didn't even get a chance to throw it a whole lot, so it's nice to be able to see him to get a couple of throws and be able to play out here with the number 1 receivers, the number 1 offensive line.
Just from right here, you can see the zip on the release to the pass that he had to Barrett. Looked very comfortable in doing so. After that McClure run failed a game. Second down, McKissick tries the left side, and he's ahead. He'll be close to a first down. They'll mark him just shy. It'll be third down and very short.
Loving what I'm seeing out of these receivers in their blocking tonight. This time it was Ken Arrigo. Look at him sealing off the outside, and McKissick cut it back in. He probably had more yards to the outside if he elected to go, but it's going to be a very manageable third down here for Spain Park.
McKissick stays in. He'll stand behind Nash Davis. The sophomore Jag quarterback, Connor Grab. What a grab.
You got to concentrate to be able to bring in one of those. It wasn't a bad pass at all as Davis gets to the outside as you see him throw it, and just the outstretched arms of Connor Greb leads to a Atlas Senior Living first down.
Nash back the other way. Barrett Price. Oh, beautifully designed if it wasn't for number 42 wearing Navy.
Well, I tell you what, they've been running that misdirection all night. Mostly it's been on the ground, and it's been very successful. This time Calera said, hey, we've had enough of that, at least on this play, as they had guys who stayed in on their assignment and was able to bring Bear Price down.
Mason McClure heads off. Clock is still running, 1:30. As Nash Davis hands it off to McKissick, and once again, number 42. He's doing it all by himself on the last 2 downs. Timeout is called with 1:16 until halftime. We'll take it as well. 21-6, Spain Park leading Calera. 1:14 left in the second quarter. Jags driving, but facing a third down and 9 here. As McKissick goes out wide. Nash Davis is your quarterback. Nash checks down, and it's dropped. Mason McClure.
Normally a lot more sure-handed than that,
Yes,
and there was nobody behind him. He probably could have turned around and you know, did some sort of dance, a cartwheel even, if he wanted to get into the end zone. But I think he probably not used to being that open.
Good protection. It was great poise. Nash going through his progressions, and he found Mason. Usually, as you mentioned, sure-handed, couldn't do it there. 4th down and 10. Nash looking, he's got Rigo. Touchdown. Wow.
Rigo is having a night tonight. 3rd touchdown reception for the senior wide receiver. Another Andrews Sports Medicine score as Nash Davis had the time, zips it right across the middle, and for some reason the scouting report must not be telling them to keep an eye on Ken Arrigo because he's been running free across the middle all night.
A 30, a 17, and then a 20-yard touchdown reception, that time from Nash Davis. Jones to attempt the extra point. Calera back there in a hurry again. Jones puts it up and puts it between the two vertical bars. 28-6. A minute and 2 seconds remaining till halftime.
You know, you talk about that zip that Davis shows on his passes, and I remember when the young Brock Bradley got his first opportunity, and you could tell right away that he was going to have the goods because he could really deliver the football. When he came in, it was just a little bit of a different quarterback situation the first year when Coach Vakakis got here, and Bradley had to wait his time. But you could see it right from when he got out there, his opportunities, and now Davis showing some of that as well, because that certainly had some MPHs on it as he delivered it to Rigo.
Kenner Rigo is a very good wide receiver.
Full stop there, huh? You don't need to add anything else to that.
But his ball cap is way too big. Kickoff fielded at the 17 and then written out of bounds. Literally. Jace Mims.
See, 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns, 2 different quarterbacks, but it's been the Kenner Rigo show as he's got 3 of those touchdown receptions. And, you know, Calera coming in riding high, as we talked about at the top of the show. They have won 2 in a row, but this is a different class of opponent in Spain Park, showing here early that, you know, you've got to come with your A-plus game to be able to stay in this ball game.
And what I like is showing another member of the region, just because Brock's going to go and play college football and have a great career. We got another one waiting in the wings.
Again, we're seeing the young guys getting the chance to come in and play actually on both sides of the ball. So when you consider that, it's going to be a problem for some years to come.
Henderson, the handoff, and a nice tackle for the Jags. Stepping up to make the plays, C.J. Kroon. And the official from across the way, because you could almost hear a pin drop. Very quiet.
I think they misspotted the football, trying to help with the extra yard there. And like, hey, we got to move it back one.
Ricky Carnes Memorial Stadium.
Number 6.
Very quiet as we get ready for halftime, and maybe that's why, as the Eagles get a first down. Clock will stop with 10 seconds left. And Jordan Ward, will they keep it safe? Well, back to the air. And he had good coverage by the Jags. The clock will stop. Carter Holloway was also in the area.
Stopped at 0, so that's a good thing for us.
And C.J. Kroon defending it. All right, we played one half of football. Jags well on their way to their 4th region win and their 6th overall. Go back to Calera in a moment.
And as you can see on the scoreboard, it's been all Jags because the offense has scored every time it's touched the football.
I mentioned quarterback Brock Bradley, and Kenner Rigo is one of his favorite targets at wide receiver, but Nash Davis getting some meaningful minutes there in the second quarter and able to connect on one of those Kenner Rigo touchdown passes. That one from 20 yards. But the Jags just taking care of business, and that's what it was about tonight, getting a guy like J.D. Thompson back, McKissick still getting back into the flow of things, and you start priming and tweaking. You want to be playing your best football come playoff time, and right now the Jags succeeding in doing so. Jags kick it off. They move from our left to our right. Fielded inside the 15, out across the 20, up to around the 24 as Jalen Moore is upended there. That's where this Eagles offense, who was very, very good, 20-20, they lost some efficiency. A lot of that to be credited to the Spain Park D.
Right, and again, there was a lot of room in between the tackles, as you said, in between the 20-yard lines. But when you started to get a little closer to the end zone, especially those linebackers, they started to come with it, and there wasn't much room to roam for Calera.
There's not a lack of weapons for senior quarterback Jordan Ward, who lines up in the shotgun. Henderson to join him. And a complement of wide receivers to go along with it. Ward being brought down from behind as he was tripped up initially. I think J.D. Bonamy was back there in the backfield, but they'll say Nathan Bird.
Bird's going to get the sack on that as he was relentless trying to chase down Ward and was able to kind of get that ankle, and Ward unable to keep his feet and goes down. In fact, it's not going to be a sack. They're going to pick up a couple yards, but it was just a good play there on the end by Bird.
Ward is a guy that is certainly a threat to run. Good job by Bird to get him before he got going there. 2nd down and 8. And a hand up. Right up the zipper, and it's Ward calling his own number again.
And it's Bird pulling him down again. And so a lot of times you want to keep up with some of that alignment and assignment and just stay in your lane, play your position.
3rd down and 2, Spain Park defensive line. Shifting now. It's Ward. Not a whole lot there. Once again, Nathan Bird involved, but he had some help. Some of his Jag teammates, and that play fails to pick up the 1st down. 4th down and 1.
And if you're Calera, you need this pickup here, because truth be told, if Calera finds a way to get to the end zone, it's a 2-score game, and that's not too far to get to if your defense can find some stops. But if you don't convert here and Spain Park has another short field, you probably can start looking at, the reserves starting to get a lot of meaningful time here in the second half.
Hard count by Wards. Spain Park staying onside. Eagles had to replace their left guard on that play. E.J. Curley, number 7 in the backfield. And it's a turnover on downs. Jag defense, exactly what Tim Vakakis and company ordered coming out here in this second half.
That was it was too easy to see what was going to happen there, and the linebackers crashed. Everybody just got upfield, and there was not much room, as you can see here, as the offense gets ready to come back on the field. Ken Arrigo had a huge first half, and they all looked about the same. He ran right up the middle of the field and was able to get free, as you saw the first touchdown pass. There's touchdown pass 2 between 2 defenders, and this time as Nash Davis is able to find him right up the middle of the field for his 3rd score. Big night in the first half for Ken Arrigo.
Speaking of up the middle, J.D. Thompson tries his hand at the middle, then busts it to the outside, but 5-yard pickup for J.D. on 1st down. Now on 2nd and 5 from the Calera 29-yard line. That's J.D. A flag comes down. Thrown back at the 26-yard line from the side judge. And most likely a hold.
Yeah, that's generally in the area where you're a little too handsy on the outside. A lot of times it's a wide receiver hold more than a lineman hold, because the lineman just has to kind of seal. The real blocking on the outside is done by the receivers.
Timeout on the field. 9 minutes, 19 seconds remaining here in the 3rd. Jags with the football and the lead. Welcome back after the timeout. 3rd down and 12. Brock Bradley pitches it out to J.D., and J.D. got a run and start.
Number 14, J.D. Thompson on the carry.
And got downhill quick. It's a 1st down.
I think they're going to leave it short, just a little short. It's going to be 3rd and 1 here. Just a little toss pitch out to the outside, and J.D. Thompson just had a head of steam and just kind of shot off in there and was able to pick up 10 yards, 11 yards on that carry.
We were coming up with occupations where it's okay to be handsy during the break. J.D. Thompson.
Number 14, J.D. Thompson on the carry.
Traffic cop. We found that.
Tackled by number 40.
Charades, if that's your occupation.
They gained the 1st down.
And we came up with a few others.
If we were playing Family Feud, that would have had to have been the number 1 answer.
Survey says Jag 1st down. As they work from the 23, under 8.5 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Mason McClure Gets a block from Greb. McClure to the outside is defender. Couldn't tell if it was a Spain Park blocker that got 44 of the Eagles to the ground or he just bit the turf. Let's take a look here. 44 there on the end.
I think he just collapsed. He just lost his footing, but give credit there to Mason McClure because he was patient. He could have turned it up because it looked like there was not much there, and you just kind of turn it up and get the yards that you can get. But that time McClure stayed patient and was able to pick up even more and pick up a Atlas Senior Living first down.
Well, Nick McKissick with a handoff there, and he picks up number 42.
Tackle by number 23, Jeremiah Pouncey. Play gain 2 yards, 2nd and 8.
2-yard gain for Nick. 2nd down and 8. Approaching 7 minutes. Here in the third, Jags enjoying a 28-6 lead. Senior night for Calera. Jags trying to move to 6-2 on the season. Holman with a touchdown strike from quarterback Brock Bradley. 12 yards that time, and Jags add to their lead. It's 34-6.
Third touchdown pass for Brock Bradley. This time it's Hallman. Again, right through the heart of the Calera defense as he splits defenders and gets another Andrews Sports Medicine score for the Jags.
Landrick Hallman, junior tight end, wearing number 11, and he adds 6 to the scorebook. Snap by Lutenbacher is on point, and so is Jones' kick. He's a perfect 5 for 5 tonight. 35-6, 7:06 remaining here in the third.
Been all Spain Park, especially here as we start the third quarter, which is brought to you by Signature Homes, the premier local new home builder. Build your life with us, and as always, go Jags. We thank Signature Homes for being a big-time sponsor here for Spain Park football in 2025.
I believe barring a Benjamin Russell collapse, Spain Park will have the 2 seed in the 6A state playoffs. The 4th seed is still up for grabs in a game taking place tonight in Helena. Chelsea taking on Helena 9-7. Chelsea leading at the half, last check. Hoffman's kick. Hoffman put a little extra oomph into that one as it's fielded inside the 5. And Eagles return man had a full head of steam and then came to an abrupt stop as he hit somebody in the back trying to return that football. That was talented Jalen Moore.
Nothing worse than getting your momentum stopped by one of your own guys. The idea is supposed to kind of clear some space so that you can, pick up some yards. You're not supposed to run up the back of your guy, but
kind of goes back to your theory on the tush push. If you weigh about 30, you shouldn't be the one pushing. And I subscribe to that theory. Quarterback keeper by Ward.
Number 5, Jordan Ward.
Hit hard as he got a couple. He's slow to get up.
He hit his head hard when he went down on the ground. So
hopefully that young man's okay.
Doesn't look like it because he's coming off.
Kenneth Madden, 23 there in the middle of the Jag defensive line. Hit him hard.
His new quarterback there, KG Wadley, listed as a freshman. Throws it across the middle, and that's incomplete. A little too high for his receiver.
Number 14, KG Watley's pass intended for number 8. Owen Richardson falls incomplete. 3rd down and 7.
And Jordan Ward took a big hit as he ran up the middle on that last play, and those are the kind of plays that'll have you wondering why you're outside and why you aren't inside. Looks like he's still on the sideline, so they're tending to him. We'll see if he's going to be able to come back into this game. It looks like they're going to get some medical attention for him over on the sideline.
James Jones checks in, number 85, pass rush specialist. He lines up on this near side. A whistle for the play gets started. And Coach Riles and the Eagles going to burn a timeout. 6 minutes, 16 seconds remaining here in the third. Jags with a comfortable lead. Clear a timeout. The Eagles facing 3rd down and 7. Good news for Coach Riles and his Calera football team. Looks like the timeout afforded the opportunity for starting quarterback Jordan Ward to come in on this 3rd down and 7. They'll need the 32. Ward with pressure. Madden can't get him. Jag holding on to his shirt. The tearaway. And E.J. Curley, an emphatic tackle to finish Jordan Ward. All he needed was 7. He got plenty there.
Well, you see the towel hanging out the back of his jersey. That was not probably the wrong thing to grab because he was able to slip the tackle. You got to be a little more sure as you try to bring him down, but he was able to pull away and big pickup and a 1st down for the Eagles.
So after the 1st down, he won't get away from that one. Kenneth Madden, Nathan Bird, but it was Madden first.
Madden was a little upset because he had the beat on him on the last play and was unable to pull him down.
Back to the 35-yard line.
Time comes. That was the pass a little earlier in the ball game, but Madden, he got
a little extra
there.
enthusiasm
Right.
that time, AA.
Because he missed on the last one, so he was like, I'm gonna make sure that Ward is in the turf this time.
Man goes in motion. Ward hands it off to him, and turning the corner, TK Slaughter able to maybe get an arm around the Eagle ball carrier. E.J. Curley able to use the boundary as an extra defender, force him out of bounds. No harm, no foul. It'll be 3rd down and 15 with 4:40 remaining in the third.
A lot of times, if you can't get that quick cut up, and if you keep getting kind of strung out towards the sideline, that means the defense is going to be able to rally over and keep you from getting up any kind of substantial yardage. And that time, Spain Park defense did a good job of being able to string that play towards the sideline. Going east and west is what you want if you're a defensive team. The north-south tends to be more of the problem.
47-yard line of the Jags is the line to get. And just getting back to the line of scrimmage, a task there is the Spain Park defense swarming all over the Calera ball carrier.
We've been calling a lot of Nathan Bird here the last couple of series, and as you can see, he gets the stop. There's more guys in there. Well, everybody was in on that particular play, and good job again by the Spain Park defense. This is the first punt of the half.
First
punt of the game.
Punt of the game. Barrett Price, Kenarigo are back. Busby, not a bad punt. Fielded by Rigo. Went through the arms, but luckily for Kennan, the ball popped right back up to him. He's tackled there, and the Jags will start from their own 27.
You got a grass bounce there because a lot of times on the turf it's so spongy that thing will bounce any kind of way, especially with the oblong shape of the football. But the grass kind of deadened it, bounced right back into the hands of Kenarigo, and Spain Park able to retain possession.
Brock Bradley heading back out at quarterback.
Spain Park has scored on every one of its possessions here tonight.
3 touchdown passes for Brock. Nash Davis has one as well. To the ground, Hudson Hibbard. 12, 13. Tough yards.
You know, when you have as many weapons as Spain Park does, you know, a lot of times there's not enough footballs to go around to kind of placate all of the playmakers on this team. So when you get your opportunity, these guys, they run hard, they play hard because they want to be able to impress for the number of touches they're going to get in the ball game.
First down, under 3 minutes in the third. Hibbard lowers the shoulders. He's forced out. Not before 15 plus. Marked out at the 45 of Calera. Jag offense.
Look at Harris, number 58. He's blocking as far upfield as Hibbert was. A lot of big help for the big run for Hibbert and an Atlas Senior Living first down.
Jag offense continuing to find success against this Eagle D. Hudson shook off a would-be tackler. Never got him on the ground, but they forced him out of bounds after a pickup of 1.5. And the clock will stop with 2 minutes and 17 seconds.
And what you're starting to see here is Spain Park just going to the ground game, eating up clock, shortening this ball game. It's well in hand at this point. As long as you don't turn the football over, you should be able to get out here with a W, but just kind of limiting the offensive opportunities for Calera. And just staying safe in what you're doing is what Spain Park is doing to this point in the second half.
Caden Comer, your new running back. Brock wants to throw. Bradley's got a man. It's McClure. Wow. Bradley had an Eagle who hit him right as he threw it, but it was lasered in. And Mason McClure with a beautiful catch.
Tim Vakakis has been making me look bad here tonight. Hey, we're going to run it all the rest of the night, and then he goes up top to Mason McClure. Big catch, big play on the pitch and catch from Bradley to McClure for another Atlas Senior Living first down.
Comer remains in at tailback. Everybody getting set. First and goal, Jags. Comer tries the wide side. Not a whole lot, if any.
We've seen this formation and seen this type run play at least 5-6 times tonight where the line goes one way and the run goes the other way. As we get another look here at the big pitch and catch from Bradley to McClure, but there's going to be something else off of that later.
Hibbert. Hudson with 9 yards. They'll actually mark him down at the 3. So 7 yards. John Maloof checked in at fullback, served as an extra blocker. He wears number 20.
There's a run here from Maloof somewhere.
He's got a neck roll, looks like a fullback. Hudson.
Number 16, Hudson.
Pulling into the station. It's a touchdown, his second of the night. And the Jags cruising once again, 41-6, 37 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Nothing too fancy or flashy, a little power ball right up the middle of the field, and Hudson Hibbert back into the end zone for the second time tonight. Another Andrews Sports Medicine score for the Jags.
Jones will try to make it a perfect 6 for 6 on point after touchdowns. Lutenbacher snap. Hold is there, and the kick is good. 42-6. 37 seconds remaining here in the third. And that might be all you will see from quarterback Brock Bradley tonight.
We didn't think that we're going to see a ton of him in the second half. He probably ended up getting an extra series because he took one off in the end of the first half, but he has done a fantastic job leading this offense up and down the field. Again, Spain Park 6 for 6 in possessions that have turned into touchdowns. So it's about what we thought was going to happen. Calera, I'm sure, wanted to put up a little more of a fight, but it has not happened to this point in this ballgame.
And Hudson Hibbert. Talk about the role that he has played on this team. Listed as a quarterback coming into the season, made the move and out of necessity, but he has been such an added weapon. Just what he brings with his physicality running the football.
And you think about it, as a quarterback, would he be able to use that physicality like he uses it now? Quarterback, a little more of a finesse type of position, but it also says something about him and he wants to play football. Obviously, you know what you have here with Brock Bradley. He probably wasn't going to get to play much quarterback that way. And then we've seen Nash Davis play very well. He's the heir apparent. And so when you consider those things, man, if you want to get on the football field, you say, hey, Coach, I can go do this. And he has certainly done his job as the running back this season.
A lot of fresh players in on defense for Tim Vakakis. We'll get to all of those names that we can in just a moment. Henderson, who has the only touchdown tonight for the Eagles, and his freshman quarterback, KG Watley, finds him there. I'm wondering if Jordan Ward, night is done just because, or was it possibly one of those hits that he took from Kenneth Madden that they're checking on, the senior quarterback?
Well, I don't think that's the case because he's still out on the field. As you can see, they're going to like a dual quarterback setup, and he's out there trying to serve as a blocker.
Lost him in the fray. We've played 3 quarters. Final frame when we come back.
The third quarter, your score.
Welcome back. We start the 4th quarter. Calera, first down from their own 36-yard line. Wide open. And hauling it in.
Number 14, KJ Watley's pass completes. Number 84, Caden Speck.
Caden Specs, listed as their leading receiver coming into tonight. First or second time we've called his name.
McClure's had a good night, but this time he bit on the pump fake, and that allowed Specs to get loose for a big play for Calera.
And throwing it behind his intended receiver there into traffic. Watley's pass incomplete. It'll bring up second down. Some of the fresh faces we see on the defensive side of the ball for the Jags. Peyton Wood, as well as that young man, Jace Mims. Ethan Boykin still in there up front. And once again, they heave it up to their 6'6" wide receiver. Had a big 4th down catch. But he can't come down with that one.
McClure is the man on the spot again, man. They are targeting the young guy. And he's, for the most part, stood up to the challenge tonight.
Israel Anders in at linebacker, number 32. 3rd down and 10. Watley. And couldn't tell if he threw that one away or if it was actually deflected by Peyton Wood, number 13.
Certainly was giving chase. He got outside of the pocket.
And a flag comes down and intentional grounding.
On the offense. 5 yards from the spot of the foul. Carries a loss of down.
The way that the ball came out, as we're watching it in real time, I'm thinking there's no way he threw that ball like that. But apparently he did, and the official right there.
And he didn't. He got outside of the pocket, but he didn't get it back to the line of scrimmage, and that was more of the issue there. That's why he got called for grounding. There certainly wasn't a receiver in the area either. So you lose the yards from where he threw the football. Then you lose the penalty yards, and then you lose the down. And what was looking promising, the opportunity to score for Calera, you can get a first down without getting a touchdown, but as close as that is, Calera's going to go for the end zone.
Jalen Bates in at defensive line. We saw Christian Carter earlier. He's checked out. Now a throw to the end zone, intercepted. Picked off by Jace Mims. He takes a knee. It's a touchback. And the Jags keep the Eagles out of the end zone once again with 11 minutes and 7 seconds left to play.
Another A.R. Holmes turnover, and this time Mims doing his job, really playing center field as they targeted McClure again. But Mims came over with the support and got the big turnover. And now Spain Park back on offense again.
Jags back at home to close out region play against Chilton County, 7 o'clock, Jaguar Stadium. Your plans to be there, and then we'll finish up on a Thursday night for the regular season, as we customarily do, against the Gardendale Rockets. Nash Davis had a man, but it was well defended. Velcro-like coverage.
Broken up by number 41, John Data. Second down and 10.
As
Coach McCack is certainly giving Davis a chance to throw the football a little bit, show what that arm talent can do. And, you know, a lot of times he comes into ball games and he's just handing it off. And sure, Spain Park is well ahead, but you got to give your guy an opportunity, as that's a tough snap right there. I think it may have been a false start or a procedure penalty there against Spain Park. But you got to give him an opportunity to kind of run this offense as it would normally be run, just to kind of see what you got out of him. And we saw it at the end of the first half, and having a nice drive and ending up in a touchdown pass. So it looks like we're going to throw it a little bit, but, you know.
You have guys like Andrew Milan, who was the intended receiver on that, looked like a slant, as well as number 15, Camden Major, senior, who has checked in at wideout. Back to the ground game as Comer gets his number called once again. Gets one or two of the penalty yards back. It's still second down and long. Third down, as it says there on the field. Second down on the scoreboard, but third is what we'll play by. Nash Davis. Look at the zip. He was going for Major. But a little bit of velo coming out of the hand of the sophomore quarterback, Nash Davis.
Yeah, you know, when you've got the fastball working at top velocity, you know, your receivers have to be able to you know, kind of catch that velocity or catch up with that velocity. And didn't look like the receiver was able to get off his break even quick enough to catch up with that fastball. So talking a lot of baseball, even though it's football season. It's going to be the first punt of the night for Spain Park.
If you're a Braves fan, football season started at the All-Star break. And a fumble recovered by the Jags. This will come back, but it will be Spain Park football. Cannot advance it. But Jace Mims, who had the interception in the end zone, has the special teams fumbled punt recovery.
Yeah, the high school rules just a little different. As you said, you can't advance a muffed punt. You can advance the fumble if you get it and you hit them. But as you can see here, it was a fair catch called for and just right through his hands. And in a lot of other leagues, that's going to be 6 points, but instead it'll just be an A.R. Holmes turnover for Spain Park, and the offense gets to stay on the field.
Can you do that in the CFL?
I don't know. Generally, we don't get to fourth down there, so on third down. if it happened on third down, I believe so.
I'm trying to remember the leagues that still punt, or how they format kickoffs these days. It's so hard to decipher. Milan.
Yeah, I was playing the Madden video game this weekend with my nephews, and you know, I hadn't touched it in a while, and they've got those kickoffs set off just like they are in the regular game. I had to adjust to it.
Handoff up the middle, and that will be enough for Caden Comer. And the Jags will move the sticks, the clock running 9 minutes and change left in this one.
You see a lot of the starters, they on the sideline cheering on their teammates. They all work together in practice. So everybody wants to see everyone be successful, I'm sure. And So they're right up at as far as they can come towards the sideline, trying to see more success for their guys.
Comer stood up after a couple of yards on first down.
Jalen Lee. Play gained 4 yards. 2nd down and 6.
And we're here in the fourth quarter, and as this game kind of churns towards a conclusion, we know where you can end up after the ball game. That's over at Buffalo Wild Wings on Highway 280. They've got a lot of options for you. Chicken is my thing, but they've got salads, they've got burgers, they got a lot of other options for you at the Buffalo Wild Wings on Highway 280. And thanks for being a supporter of Spain Park football here in 2025.
Comer forced out of bounds after a short pickup. I love the lemon pepper. I go with a lemon pepper.
I'm a garlic Parmesan guy.
Okay. I'm not going to hate you for that. If lemon pepper's not available, I'll go with the garlic parm. But the tacos are great there. You want to go with a burger, chicken sandwich, nachos, onion rings.
That gets it done for sure.
The buffalo chips. And a lot of TVs. Buddy Tim Spencer and Buffalo Wild Wings. They're great locations here.
Yep.
And beyond.
I guess the officials decided not to blow the whistle.
Apparently one of our officials already thinking about what he's going to order at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Maybe on the app, doing a little pre-ordering.
Something. Did I miss something?
It looked like someone jumped off sides. They didn't blow the whistle. Then it looked like Spain Park may have gone a little early with the snap, and no one reacted. And so Nash Davis just said, hey, I'm going to try to take off and see if I can make it, but came up a little short, and it's going to be a turnover on down.
That's the officials looking at everybody and going, boys, we got under 7 to play, and it's 42-6. I don't think anybody's going to protest this one. Man, coming in motion on first down. They go back to their version of Megatron, all 6'6" of him.
It's Darian Hamilton.
Darian Hamilton.
Tackled by number 21. KJ Cruz.
Something tells me he's also on Calera's basketball team.
Save more first down.
I'm guessing he would be utilized in track and field as well.
I could see that.
Watley Mims went up looking to make a play and came up with nothing.
Xavier Boone for another Calera Eagle. Save more first down. Tackled by number 17.
Well, Sunday after church, you can get in to Jefferson's right there off of Valleydale. Love Jefferson's as Ward fumbles a snap. He's able to hang on, but it's the Coach V show at the Jag Connection Jefferson's with the wonderful wings, burgers, and other amazing things. Every Sunday, you can join them live. You can also find them on YouTube at Game Day Sports Radio. That's 6 to 7. We'll see you this Sunday at Jefferson's up in Valleydale and Hoover. 2nd down and 12. Going up top and pass interference. Jags fortunate that the Eagles wide receiver couldn't come down with it. He's slow to get up, and that was young man they were targeting once again, getting the start. Dwight Beckford, the sophomore. And the Eagle, who fell down after that play, he is still down, and that's their main man, number 83. We'll take a break. Only 10 to the injured Eagle. Ian Williamson, the freshman wide receiver. He is helped up by the training staff. Jordan Ward, quarterback / running back at times tonight. Peyton Wood there to bring him down. 4-yard pickup. 2nd down and 6. We're under 5 minutes to play. And the Jags, who have given up only 7 points in 3 consecutive games, trying to keep the Eagles at 6. Pressure coming. Floating it up. Back shoulder throw of sorts. And KG Watley's pass complete to Owen Richardson. He's out of bounds. And the Eagles, not the first time, second time, or third time they've been on this spot in the field, but every time the Jags have found an answer. The lone score was an 80-yard touchdown late in the first quarter.
And you've got Watley out there. I imagine, Calera, knows what's happening with its season. They were going to need a small miracle to make the postseason, but now you've got a freshman in here. He's the future of this program. You don't want to take your starting quarterback out, who's a senior, who has done everything he can to kind of keep this program afloat. And so now they've got him in there serving as the tailback, and I imagine you're going to see a lot more of that for the Calera Eagles over the last couple of games.
Xavier Boone brought down after the 5-yard pickup. Jason Mims on the tackle for Spain Park. 4 minutes, 9 seconds. Clock continues to move. And the Eagles trying to get double digits on the scoreboard. Ward spun around, met, and stopped for no gain.
Well, Ward may or may not know this. When you're running the football, if you turn your back and take away that forward momentum, there's not many opportunities for you to be able to turn those legs and push the defense back. Chances are they're going to push you back, and that's exactly what happened on that run.
Another region game we were keeping our eyes on because that final playoff spot out of Region 3 up for grabs. Helena, after trailing at the half, has taken a 14-9 lead. They play late in that one. Xavier Boone, incomplete. Off his right hand. And 4th and goal coming up for the Eagles.
You know what I didn't see the Eagles really do tonight is run any kind of trick plays or, plays designed to give yourself a bit of an advantage when it came to some one-on-one opportunities. No flea flickers, no reverses. They played straight up, and, sometimes that's just what you do. But, they probably could have helped themselves a little more if they were able to kind of catch Spain Park a little off kilter.
And timeout is called. 3 minutes, 13 seconds left.
I'm sure Coach Riles on the other side, you take that timeout and say, hey, we've got to get in the end zone. Gives his guys a chance to kind of draw something up, maybe something a little special, if you will. A play that, when you get to this part of the game, you go find the best play you've got in the playbook on short yardage and run it and hope your guys are able to execute that play. As you said, on the other side, Spain Park is like, hey, we don't allow too many touchdowns around here. We haven't in a month. We'd like to keep it that way.
Other games of interest going on tonight. Hoover trailing Thompson 23-20 as they play late in the third of that one. It appears Columbia High School's losing streak will continue.
Man, that's got to be tough.
They trail 57-14.
You go out there knowing that the chances of you coming out on top are slim. This is an interesting formation.
Yes, it is. You've got Ward, your starting quarterback, lined up at quarterback. A man offset and a man very deep behind him now. Ward drops back, looking to throw. going to have to turn it inside. And can the Jags catch the edge? I believe they did. Wow. How about the backside help? And I believe it was a sophomore that came over to do it. It was. Dwight Beckford.
I tell you, that play was actually designed to do that. I don't think that play was just something that crazy was happening. I believe they tried to flow the offense over to the near side and try to see if they could get Ward in some one-on-one situations to the outside and see if he could make a move and get to the end zone. It did not work, and Spain Parks got the football.
Everett Thorson, junior quarterback, number 17, handed it off. And the ball stripped away. Maloof can't come up with the tackle. Well, if you can't do it the conventional way, just take it away and do it yourself, and that's what happened there. Unfortunate. After a nice run from Joshua Tenney, but 3 just took it away.
Well, you can tell Tenney doesn't get out there a lot, and he had open space to run, but he never secured that football. He almost never really had an opportunity to bring it in to secure it because he was running and he was running free, and that ball, it was just out there like that loaf of bread, and he did not secure it and just had it taken right out of his hand. No sandwiches for the Spain Park offense here, as turns into 6 for the Eagles.
And to be fair, it was not the Spain Park defense that surrendered that. However you want to figure that up as far as streaks or averages.
Yeah, that's true, because, again, last week Spain Park's defense didn't allow a point at all. So it was a good run. It's just, and this allows for teaching lessons, and this is why you get your young guys in the games, because for the good things that you can see and the opportunity you get a chance to get up underneath the lights, if you make a mistake, this is not one of those mistakes that will hurt you for this game and even for this season. But, it allows for you to say, hey, look, from now on when I'm running the football, hey, I've got to secure that ball. I can't run with it so far outside of my body that a guy is able to just come from across the field and snatch it right out of my hands, which is exactly what happened there.
2 minutes, 44 seconds after the strip and score.
Kicking off for the Eagles, number 87,
For Calera. Oscar Saylor.
number 37.
Will kick off for the 3rd time tonight. Sky kicked one that did not work out so well earlier. This one more towards the far hash. And T-boned at the intersection. Number 37 wearing the white jersey, but a nice return from Asher McBride, who also serving as a holder on extra points tonight.
And if you're Spain Park here, try to run, get a first down, melt the clock, and let's get on home with another W.
Across the 30 up to the 32. Just keep that clock moving as Everett Thompson remains in at quarterback.
William Jenkins, the game 3 yards, 2nd and 7.
Mac Beverly, number 31, in at running back. He's listed as a fullback on the roster. But he gets the handoff here. Mac across the line of scrimmage, got one. He's taken down. The clock continues to move. Minute 53 and counting.
This is where your money down, where you want to pick up that first, and in that pretty much ice this ball game. I don't believe Calera is going to try to call any timeouts here. So pick up this first down and let's get ready to get to the handshake line.
And at 25, you got 5 on the play clock. Thompson to Mac Beverly, and Mac could have gone down with the initial hit. There was impact behind the line of scrimmage, but his credit, he was able to, he staggered just a bit, still moved forward. Play still loses yardage. Now under a minute, 4th down coming up. Punt team heading out. And the Jags moving to 6-2. This 2025 season, 4-1 in region play. Wrap up region play next Friday night, Jack Stadium, as Chilton County comes to town. Jones Van Pelt. Beautiful kick. High spiral fielded at 36. Fair catch called for and taken. 24 seconds. All that separates the Jags from getting back on Interstate 65 and heading north.
Again, Calera, they showed some good things tonight.
They did.
They moved the football certainly in the first half, just was unable to get into the end zone outside of the one big play. And the defense, they kept playing hard, was able to get the strip and score here on the last Spain Park possession. So, you know, injuries put the new quarterback in, and he's shown pretty well as well. So there's some bright spots here if you're Calera, but there's not much left in this ball game. Maybe a deep toss to try to get into the end zone, but instead they're going to run the football one more time, and that should end this ball game.
Well, the Jags moved to 6-2. Playoff spot already secured. They weren't perfect tonight, but they were pretty good. 42-13 final score for all of our crew, the hardworking folks that make this broadcast possible. To all of you, thanks for joining us for AA Moore, Pete Triantis, I'm Landrum Roberts. Jags a winner. We'll see you next Friday night.